Hey guys, how's it going? It's Calvin Raab. So there's this big notion out there that you have to get a college degree. And yes, there is evidence behind the idea that getting a college degree on average, you're gonna make more than someone who doesn't go to college, and that's why a lot of people do go to college. However, if you don't feel that college is your thing, it's not the end of the world because there are jobs out there for you. There are high-paying, great, respectable jobs that you can get if you don't have a degree. And in this video, I'm gonna go over 10 of them. So these are 10 of mostly what are the highest paying ones. I'm going to go from number 1 to number 10, and number 10 is going to be the highest paying one. I'm going to go from least paying to highest paying, but I wouldn't recommend going straight to that one. I'd recommend watching all of them through to see if anything just kind of piques your interest, because a lot of these are completely different in very different fields, and you don't want to go solely because it's the highest paying. No, because you may not enjoy it, it may not be one for you. However, there may be a few others that you may be interested in. So before I talk your ear off in this introduction, let's jump into it and let's get into the 10 highest paying jobs that you can get without a college degree. Get into it. And of course, if you're new here, my name's Calvin Raab. Here I make videos all about personal finance, so if you're interested in anything like that, I would love it if you would subscribe. The first job I want to talk about is a commercial pilot, which is going to be making about $71,000. Now, although you don't need a college degree for this job specifically, you will need some certifications. You'll need your, I believe it's the commercial pilot certification. There may be some particular one that you need. I don't know too much about this field, but that is something that you will need. I talked to my friend about this and he said it is a great kind of field to go into. There's a lot of ex-military that go into and become commercial pilots. It is rather competitive as well. However, at $71,000, it is pretty high paying. Number 2, and this one is a little bit more of an umbrella field, and then a few jobs I'll talk about specifically under it, and that is jobs at sea. So when I say jobs at sea, I'm speaking on jobs such as being a captain or a mate or a pilot. So they all kind of fall under this one field of jobs at sea, and you don't need a college degree for these jobs. Now, they are rather competitive. I know a little bit about the industry just because we actually studied it a little bit in university. We're studying the port at Long Beach, which is one of the biggest ports in the world, and a lot of traffic goes through there, and it's a fascinating place to study. I was studying it from a climate perspective, but it was quite interesting, and a lot of these jobs are quite high paying. They are rather hard to get. There is few of them, and a lot of times it relies on networking and different things like that. Very competitive, but they are high paying, and you don't need a college degree for it. Number 3, and this one was interesting for me because I actually thought they needed a college degree for this, and that was a dental hygienist. Now, if you've ever been to the dentist, you have likely worked with a hygienist before, and they're just the people that usually clean your teeth and do a lot of the more preventive work that you will usually get done when you go to the dentist. I'm not a big fan of the dentist, so whenever I see them, I'm not their biggest fans, but I certainly respect the work that they do. They do a great job, and it is high paying. It is going to be around $75,000, and that does change depending on where you are, but you don't need a college degree for it. You will need some other certifications. You know, they're just not going to let anyone walk through the door and all of a sudden work on people's teeth. So you will need to take a few classes, get a few certifications, but you don't need a college degree, and it's a pretty high-paying job and one that will be there in the future as well. Number 4 is a gaming manager. So yes, you'll be able to play Fortnite all day, you'll be on your Xbox. No, not that kind of gaming. When I say gaming, I'm speaking of casinos. And if you are trying to figure out what this job does exactly, just think you are a manager of that casino. So you're going to be making sure everything runs smoothly. Of course, they're going to be hiring and firing, and just making sure that everything is running at the most efficient way possible, making sure everyone is enjoying themselves, and you are just setting a great environment for both workers and customers as well. This is a high-paying job, around $77,000 per year, and if you are interested in this industry at all, you can get into it and become this without a college degree. Number 5 is a nuclear power reactor operator. Now say that 5 times, but these people will make quite a bit. They're going to be making about $78,000 per year, and of course, my line of expertise does not exactly dwell in this domain of nuclear power reactors. So I can't tell you exactly what they do, although it would be pretty interesting. I do find nuclear power really interesting. I think that is something that we should look more into. I think it is something that it's not quite as dangerous as everyone really thinks it is. And I just took a geography class, so I'm pretty up on my other sources of power aside from fossil fuels and different things like that. Nuclear power, I actually wrote an essay on it. But I am getting on a far little tangent here, but a nuclear power reactor operator, if you're interested in this industry at all, then this is something you may want to look into. You don't need a college degree. You will need probably certifications, as is kind of a running trend with everything here. But it is a fascinating field, and I do think in the future we will be using more of it, and it's high paying, and you don't need a college degree for it. Number 6 is a elevator installer or technician, and they're going to be making about $79,000 per year. And as you can see, it is a rather important and stressful position because everything has to go right. Because if an elevator breaks or malfunctions in some way, and something very bad can happen, you know, it's not like in the accounting world, if I mess up something on a spreadsheet or something along those lines, it's not going to put someone's life in danger. Whereas an elevator, that could happen. So it is certainly a high risk. You have to be perfect. You have to be on it. And because of that, it pays quite well, around $79,000 or so. So you're going to want to look into see if this is something that you're interested in. It is high paying, it is probably rather stressful, little difficult, and you will have to get some certifications, understand exactly how everything works, because you want to be experienced and knowledgeable when you go into it. You know, I don't want some newbie who doesn't really know anything working on the elevator. That'd be a little scary, but this is a job that you can look into. Number 7 is a detective or an investigator. Now, how most people understand these people are through different TV shows that they watch, and that just gives a little glimpse into what they do. It's oftentimes dramatized, but if you are a investigator or any type of detective, you know, you're going to be looking into different crimes. You're going to be gathering evidence and oftentimes talking to people, trying to put pieces together, working off different hunches that you have, doing research. It's a fascinating field, and I know a little bit about it because my brother is actually working to kind of get in that industry as a whole. Now, because in just talking to him, I see that a lot of people do have bachelors, and if you do have a bachelor's degree, it kind of does give you a leg up on your competition. He's getting a criminal justice degree. He's currently pursuing that, so all power to him for that. And if you're interested in this, you don't need a college degree, but talking to my brother, it does give you a little bit of an advantage. So you can look at maybe a criminal justice degree, which is what he is doing. Number 8 is a radiation therapist, and this job will be bringing in about $81,000 per year. Radiation therapist does is it's kind of in the name, but it is moderating the amount of radiation that cancer patients are getting. As cancer patients go through chemotherapy and testing, someone has to moderate the radiation that these individuals are getting, and that's what the radiation therapist job is. Now, it's a very important job. You are in the medical field if that's something that you hope to go towards. You do not need a college degree for this. I'm sure it could probably help. You'll want some knowledge of the industry as a whole. You'll likely have to take courses and different things like that. I don't know too much about this field as a whole, so I don't want to act like I do. But if you are interested in it, you could easily do some Google searches around there and see what is required. Even though a bachelor's degree isn't necessarily required, there are probably other requirements to do this. Number 9, and I was pretty surprised about how high paying this was, and that was a financial service sales agent. And this job will be bringing in about $95,000 per year. Now, what this job does is it too is also in the name. So you'll likely work for a company that sells some type of financial service. Some type of, maybe it's an accounting software, investing software, something along those lines. And as the sales agent, you will do market research and look at companies that may benefit from this type of financial service. You know, you'll give them a call, you say, hey, I believe this would help you reach XYZ, reach this profit margin, help you in this way, you should really look into it, and this might be the deal we can get. I am guessing there's probably commissions involved within this industry as well, but if this is something that you're interested to, if you're interested in financial services, which is something that I'm actually interested in, this could be something that you may want to pursue or look at, and it is very high paying, and you don't need a college degree for it, so it may be something you want to look into. Number 10, this is the highest paying one, drum roll please. It is an air traffic controller. Now, an air traffic controller is making about $120,000 per year. Now, it is pretty well known, at least this is something that I knew before, that air traffic controllers do make quite a bit of money. Now, before you go and fill out your air traffic controller application right now, it has been seen as the most stressful job in the world, or it is certainly up there with kind of a host of other jobs, but it is extremely stressful. You know, you can think of it in everything that you are having to do. You know, you're gonna be talking to other towers, you know, making sure every flight runs smoothly. If something is slightly off, it changes everything for the day, and you have to reschedule everything. Make sure everyone gets their flights in time. Make sure everyone is lined up on the before they all land. You know, this is really cool. I go to UCLA, and when you pull out of UCLA, UCLA is right by LAX airport, right in Los Angeles, one of the more prominent airports in the world. And at night, from kind of the back of UCLA, you can look at the skyline and you can see about 20 airplanes lined up, perfectly spaced out to land. And that just kind of gave me an idea of how stressful this job is. You know, the fact that you have to get everyone all lined up. You know, these planes are moving 500 miles an hour and they're all, it's a fascinating job, and airports are quite interesting. I have a roommate who actually is really into planes and airports, so he tells me a whole bunch about it. So it's a fascinating field, and if you're great under stress, under pressure, you want a high-paced job and kind of a high-stakes job at the same time, this could be for you. It pays a whole lot of money. You are rewarded for that stress, and you don't need a college degree for it. So that will wrap it up, and there's one more thing I wanted to end on, because when I was doing this research, I had to find like real jobs that you can go out there and apply for. But there is just one slight difference that I wanted to talk about, and that is you can still do entrepreneurship. So if you look at some of the highest paid people in the world, you know, the Bill Gateses of the world and all those other people, they didn't go to college, or at least they didn't graduate, you know. Mark Zuckerberg was at Harvard before he dropped out. So this just goes to show that if you want to start your own company, you don't need a college degree. So don't let anything hold you back. Don't think you are only constrained to these jobs that I talked about. No, you can go, you can start your own business, and you can really do as much as you want. And for me, I don't have my college degree yet. You know, I'm still a junior, but I still run this kind of financial, I don't really know what to call it, YouTube channel / business of mine, and you can still do whatever you want. So don't feel constrained because you don't have a college degree. Just know that the world is still your oyster. You can still do whatever you want, and if you choose to go get a college degree, that's great. That's a personal decision that I chose. You know, I am getting my college degree. But you don't have to. There are options out there, and there are other ones. You know, I only went over 10. There are hundreds of thousands, probably millions of jobs that you can get without a college degree. So I would love it if you'd let me know in the comments below, what are some other high-paying jobs that you can get without a college degree? So let me know down there, and I think that will help out not only me, but other people watching this video. So thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and as always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm gonna move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are going to see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon.